So yeah, so it's true that Thailand is a militant police country, that the military did run a coup over the government and they've taken over some control. How has that affected the tourists? Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and today I want to talk about Thailand. La, 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 la. That's where I live right now. That's where I stay. That's where I travel through quite a bit. But I want to talk about, some people may be wondering, especially some solo travelers or female solo travelers may be wondering, is Thailand safe? Is it? And if you go by some fear-mongering Western cultured news channels or articles, you might be questioning whether it's safe or not. And I'm here to tell you that Thailand is absolutely safe. Like, I know, like a year or so ago, Thailand had these protests, and you might have heard about these protests. You might have even heard that Thailand is a militant police country, that the military has taken over the government. And guess what? That sounds really scary, because when you think of military, you think of war, you think of casualties, you think of death, you think of the army. And so yeah, when you hear that, that can be really intimidating. And when you come here, you will see people, Thai men and some women dressed in military-like uniforms. Some are even carrying guns, especially at the border. When I went to the border of Malaysia and Thailand by train, I mean, there were guys at the border carrying that would look like semi-automatic weapons. And so yeah, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna start no shit here. But in saying it looks intimidating, and I think, and especially with our idea of what the military is, that sounds really scary and sounds intimidating, but it really is not. I was here during the protest. Not only was I here during the protest, I literally was less than a block away from the protest. Like, it was literally like right around the corner in Bangkok, when I was staying on Koh San Road. And it was one of the most peaceful protests I've ever seen. Like, I thought it was a festival, because they had like little tents, and it just looked like a Thai festival to me, like any other old Thai festival, but it happened to be a protest. So yeah, so it's true that Thailand is a militant police country, that the military did run a coup over the government and they've taken over some control. How has that affected the tourists? It doesn't seem like it affected the tourists that much at all. I can't speak for the locals here, but for the tourists, it didn't really seem to affect us. They became stricter on some immigration rules and stuff like that, but other than that, like, you have to understand, Thailand's economy is pretty much ran off tourism. They don't want to scare tourists away. That will ruin their economy. So they're kind of left us alone. Just get used to them. You get used to seeing them. They kind of become just like the police to you. And I've talked to them, I made eye contact with them, and they usually either are indifferent towards you, they just look through you, or they smile at you. I've never even, like, it looks aggressive and it looks intimidating, but in my opinion, and in my experience and other people's experience that I've spoken to, they never come off as intimidating. They don't come at you and try to intimidate you or try to strong arm you. They kind of stick, they're just to themselves and they're just doing their job. So is Thailand safe? In my opinion, it is absolutely safe. And honestly, you won't be able to feel what it really feels like to be here until you get here, or even when people, it's hard to explain to other people unless you've actually traveled through Thailand or Southeast Asia. Like, your walls come down so much quicker here than they would, or they would for me, when I was back at home. Like, you just feel a lot more secure, a lot more safer here. You feel just even less judgment here. So just your insecurities and that wall you build up just comes down so much quicker when you're here. You trust people a lot quicker and a lot sooner than, and I've spoken to a lot of other travelers who feel the same way. You just trust people a lot quicker. And it's like, for Thailand itself, it is a Buddhist country, so I don't know if they don't do certain things because it's against their religion, because they believe in karma. Like, if you're a bad person, your next life is going to be really shitty, and so that's one of the reasons why I feel safe here, or maybe why the crime is down, or at least against tourists, because of their religion and their just beliefs. I think tourists and travelers should have adopt that same feeling. It's almost like the honor system. Like when I when I lived in LA, I used to go hiking at the Running Canyon. If you ever go to LA, go to Running Canyon. I love the Running Canyon. It's all where all the pretty people go and walk their dogs. But yeah, you don't need a dog. Whatever. Anyway, so they had an area in front of the entrance before you go into the Running Canyon, or before you go hiking. They had an area where there were snacks like water and chips and granola bars and fruit, but there was no one manning the area. They just had the prices, and then they had a box with a slit, and you just you take what you need and you pay for it. You put the box in the slit, and it was just based off the honor system. Like, yes, of course, I'm pretty sure like there were some people who cheated that system and just took what they didn't pay for, or took more than what they paid for. Just like I'm sure there are bad people in Thailand who will steal, kill, and destroy. But as a whole, that stand has been there for at least 10 years, if I know, because that's how long I've been going to the Running Canyon. So if it wasn't effective, it wasn't making money, I'm sure that stand would have disappeared. So I'm, in conclusion, thinking that people are honoring that system. So I feel like when people go traveling through Thailand, they adapt that whole like, hey, don't do anything to others that you don't want done to you. And I also just think people who are travel long terms in backpacks are just less of assholes than like people who don't. I don't know why. Because honestly, like more closed-minded places, more closed-minded people don't travel as much because they already have like this idea of what that place is going to be like. They don't feel like they need to go there. Or Thailand is a third world country, why would I want to go there? People who travel, I feel like, are usually more open-minded, a lot more liberals, a lot more laid back, a lot more relaxed, and just less dicky, you know what I mean? But I think, again, you have to be here to understand what I'm trying to say. Like, you just feel like this sense of security and comfort and relax, and you just trust people a lot more. Not just the Thai people, but the tourists also, the other backpackers. And honestly, I think that's the biggest negative when it comes to Thailand. And the fact that it feels so secure, that people drop their walls probably too much, too soon, and put themselves in situations that can be considered dangerous because they feel so safe. Put themselves in situations that they wouldn't have put themselves in if they were back at home. There's been so many times where I've stayed at hostels and people have literally left their laptops, their iPads, their smartphones, their radio, their earphones, their money, their cash just out, and just left it there the whole day. And I'm like, if I was a mean person, I would have so much shit right now. But that's it. That you get so comfortable where you just kind of like, no one's gonna take my stuff. And like, I was going to a party in Copenhagen, a birthday party, and I was bringing my camera. And I told my friend at the time, hey, don't let me forget my camera because I'm gonna be drinking and I might forget it. And he was like, what? And I was like, you know what, never mind, because it's not like anybody's gonna take it. If I leave it, it'll be there in the morning. And I honestly believe that, and I probably am right. Like, it would have just been there. There's been so many times where, because I am a little absent-minded, where I've left things and left it there almost all day and went back and was still there. And it wasn't always the case that the manager or the person who was running the place just put it away from me. Sometimes you just left it there and you go back and it's just exactly where you left it, and just nobody touched it. Like, I've left like a wallet just sitting there, or my phone just sitting there, went back thinking if it is there, I assumed that it probably wouldn't be there, but if it is there, the manager, whoever was running the place, put it away from me. But I go back and it's just sitting there. Like, no one even like noticed it, or no one cared. It just sit there. She'll come back for it. Or I've left things and I'll have like a Thai person chase me down a block, you know, to give me back my belongings. And so you just feel it is safe. It's safe. In saying that, it does not mean you can leave your common sense at home. Still use your common sense. Still do not put yourself in situations that you would not have put yourself in when you were back at home. I do not recommend leaving all your shit out. I think that is stupid, because if anybody's gonna take it, it is other tourists. I'm not saying that there are no bad people in Thailand. I'm just saying that Thailand is safe. You'll be fine, but still bring your brains with you along with your luggage. That's it. So guys, if you have any comments, please feel free to comment below. If you have traveled through Thailand or Southeast Asia and you know what I'm talking about, that sense of just safety, security, that you bring your walls down a lot quicker, even with other tourists, like, you would tell your deepest, darkest secrets to another tourist before you would tell your best friend back at home. So So if you know what I'm talking about, please feel free to comment below. If you don't agree with me, go ahead, feel free to comment below. Let's have a discussion about it. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to continue to follow me on this beautiful game called life, please subscribe. And thank you, family of love, life, and travel. Thanks.
No, no, no.